I wanted to talk about boys, black boys in particular. What we did as society close to 1990, 92, 93, we rightly so understood that the girl child needed to be empowered, which was the right thing to do. But what we did as society, we did a zero-sum game. We said, focus on the girls and fuck the boys, and which is what we did. So we ignored the boys and we over-empowered the girls. What we now starting to see, I'll show you 3 institutions where this is starting to show up, 4 institutions. The first one is the home. Of course, 7 out of 10 black boys are raised without a father. The outcomes of boys not raised by no fathers is that they drop out of school earlier. They have a higher chance of being incarcerated or imprisonment. They have a higher chance of drug abuse or drug addiction. They have a higher chance of thinking that school is not important. They have a higher chance of aggression, which leads to violence and killing someone else, especially another male friend. So, I would rather have a boy raised by what we now call in social psychology, social fathers. You call them step fathers. I would rather a boy have a stepfather. When I was growing up, my father abandoned me. I was less than a year old, so he took a long leave of absence. And when I was 13, I was raised by a stepfather, which is the father who I call my biological father, who raised me. And he saved my life because I started selling drugs. I grew up in Cape Town, Cape Flats. All I knew was drug dealers and gangsters. And we started this business called drug dealing. And my stepfather stepped in, found out, and he took me to Scouts, Boy Scouts. That was his intervention. That intervention saved my life. So if you are what you call yourself as a step, actually just know that you have a far greater role in a boy's life than anything else. Just you being there, you've halved all the crises that we see with black boys. So don't lose hope. So those who are either excluded or dropping out are black males. Those who are graduating are black females. What's going to happen in the next 20, 30 years is that I have 3 daughters, and I look at them and I say to them, you are fully empowered, economically empowered, academically empowered. There's going to come a time where you want to date. Then you're going to come to me and say, I welcome a daughter, which my sisters are also saying the same thing. Probably half of you here say the same thing, that there are no men. But then you don't just wake up and there be no men. It's systematic and it's institutionalized. It happens over time. So the other thing that we're noticing then in education is that boys, 90% of teachers at schools are females. There are no longer male teachers in primary school and high school. Only principals are men. 68% plus of principals are men. We don't know why, because 90% of teachers are females. In this country, the teaching profession is female. That means if a boy does not have a role model at home, they also don't have a role model at school. So there are 2 most important institutions in your life, is home and school. Because 80% of your time is these 2 institutions. And these 2 institutions at the moment are failing black boys. Then when it comes to health, black boys complete suicide at 5 times the rate versus black girls. Completed suicide. Now suicide, you measure it the way women measure suicide. Women attempt, ideate, think, and plan suicide at 4 times the rate versus men. You think about it a lot, but men don't have time to think, they just do it. And they die. So black boys are dying at a higher rate on mental health and depression and being suicidal at a far higher rate than women. When we talk about whichever type of family, let's just know that there's one gender that is falling behind. It's black boys. Now, what can we do about it? The first thing we ask is social fathers. We need to extend. I was not raised by a biological father. I was raised by social fathers. uncles, my stepfather, you matter. So anyone here who defines themselves as a step something, just know that you are actually part of the solution. We need you to be present for that boy. The second thing we need is actually mothers. Whether you call yourself a step or you call yourself a biological mother, there's one thing that we are asking every time now is, can you please stop talking badly about the father in the presence of the son? If you're gonna say your father Yinja, or your father is a dog, or your father is useless, in psychology, what the young boy is hearing is not my father is a dog. What he's hearing is me and my father are dogs. So you have unintentionally injured your child, unintentionally. And now your child grows up thinking, what's the point? Me and my father same WhatsApp group. My mother sees us that way. So that's the first thing we are asking. The second thing we are asking is, when it's Father's Day, can some of you stop posting Happy Father's Day to me? It doesn't help anything. Yes, we know you're angry and you're pissed off with the guy, he's irresponsible, but you are injuring other people unintentionally. So can you stop throwing your anger at us? Because the third thing that we all don't want to accept is, you are the one who slept with a loser. You chose him. So I don't know now why you're taking away the responsibility that you made this choice to have a child with a loser. And now the loser is showing you flames, and now you are angry at us. And now you are also angry at your boy. And the boy is the one, when two elephants fight, the grass suffers. And in this case, when two people adults fight, the boy suffers. So that's the second thing we are. Can mothers also please stop using the kids as a tool and a weapon to fight a fight that they have nothing to do with? So we call it father deprivation. There's over 50% of the fathers who don't have access to their kids because the mother is using the child and withholding the child because he doesn't pay maintenance and because he's broke and because he's unemployed. So can you just give access to the father even if he has nothing? Because kids are not brought up by money. They are brought up by presence. Presence is the thing that shapes the child, not the money. Kids don't remember toys. Kids remember experiences. Most kids will tell you, do you remember when we did 1, 2, 3? Not when you bought me the toy. Toys are easily forgotten. Even fathers who don't have money, unemployed, actually your fatherhood is not measured on money. It's measured on presence.